Well, Jeff, they've been in business for more than 30 years, repairing and restoring a wide variety of vehicles, most that you don't see on the roads these days, like this 1971 Jaguar E-Type. Isn't this a beauty? And now a second generation of Griffiths is finally taking the helm. Joining me now to talk a little bit more about Treasured Motor Car Services is Allison Griffiths. She is the president and owner. How are you, Allison?
I am fabulous, thank you.
I said finally,
Welcome.
so I misspoke on that one because you've been involved in the business since you were knee-high to a grasshopper.
Before I was born.
That's what I
Yes.
figured. And I kind of set you up there to say that it's a family-owned and operated facility that you have here. Started by your father back in what, the winter of 1980?
Mom and Dad started the business at home in the garage, and they were there for about 2 years before coming here and continuing on.
Now the interesting thing is your father came from England back
Correct.
in the 1950s.
In the late 1950s, he came over with Lucas, established the North American distribution for Lucas Parts.
Wow, pretty significant. So let's talk a little bit about some of the services that you do, because it really does run the gamut. I mean, you can do just a simple repair all the way up to a body-off restoration.
Correct. Everything from if you need an oil service, suspension, brakes, transmission, engine rebuild, to a full body-off, ground-up restoration, down to every last nut and bolt.
Now, you won't see the more typical cars that we would see in a garage here, of course, right?
Right.
Give me an idea of the wide range, because the nameplates go on and on here
Right.
at your place.
There's anything from a 55 Dello, a 47 Bandini, to the Jaguar E-Type, Bentley, Rolls-Royce, Ferrari, Lamborghini. You get into the early American, the Packards and Pierce Arrow, as well as even the Mustang of the 50s, and Cadillacs and things like that.
Yeah, in fact, if you just peruse your garage right now, you've got this Lotus back here, you're working on a Triumph, you've got an earlier Jag over here, the Austin Healey.
And
from the
then
60s.
we have Mercedes, the early Mercedes, early BMWs, such as the 507. There's such a wide variety, Citroen, a little bit of everything.
Tell me about the piece that you're working on back there.
Our current restoration is a Volvo P1800. We're doing a full body off. The body goes on a rotisserie to fix any issues with the body. Framework is done. The body is sent to the paint and body shop, which is off-site, and work is completed there, assembled, and new engine, new transmission, new everything, and
Voila, there it all
rebuilt and
is.
fabulous.
And it takes a long time to put these together. I mean, I guess it depends on the actual service needed, right? Let's talk about that.
The restoration can take anywhere from a year to two. If it's an extensive, extremely exotic, it can take up to 3 to 4 years.
How do people find you? I was wondering about that, because these are not just all Maryland cars in here.
No, our customers come from all over the United States. They find us, originally it was a lot of word of mouth, clubs, events, organizations, shows, and over the years with technology evolving, the modern social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and the modern adventures.
Of reaching out to folks. And you were saying that you've recently revamped that, in fact. Social media is something that you realize you need in order to
Absolutely.
get more folks to find out about you.
Many more people are finding us through the social media. We've launched our website, a new website, upgraded and updated, and I'm very excited about that as well.
And all of this is possible because you have these highly trained technicians in here. Talk to me about the folks working on these cars, because they make it possible for you, right?
Absolutely. I have phenomenal technicians. Some of them have been with me for almost 20 years. And there's a wide variety of knowledge, and they all work together in sharing that knowledge and wisdom. If a car comes in that we're not as familiar with, they all get together, work together. If there's a difficult problem, an oddity, they will work together to sort it out.
And figure it all out. A lot of research, I'd imagine, goes into it too. Your background is marketing and law enforcement.
Yes.
How'd you end up being a gearhead, or shall I say, are you even one?
As my mother says, I was born with the defective gene, and I was born into it, have always been around it, the exposure, the experience. My parents had a variety of cars growing up, so there was a great exposure and a love and passion that stuck with me throughout the years.
And I should mention your mother, Barbara, is a lifelong enthusiast and was very actively involved in the business for a long time. Last question has to do with you being a female in a very male-dominated industry. What is that experience like when they come in and ask for the president and owner and see you? How's that go down?
I just smile bigger. just put on a bigger smile and welcome them even more. Everyone that walks through the door is welcome and loved. Their vehicle is one of the most, it's personal to them, it's their treasure, and whatever their response is to me, it will still be the most welcoming that they can have.
Allison Griffiths, it was a pleasure to speak with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. And if you'd like to find out more information about Treasured Motor Car Services, just log on to our website at mpt.org and click on Your Money in Business. All right, Jeff, I've been here at the shop for quite a while, and I've been able to do some wrangling. So Allison was kind enough to give me the keys, and I'm going to take this bad boy out for a spin. In fact, I might even come to the studio and pick you up. That's the latest here from Reisterstown. Now back to you in the studio. Can't wait to get in her.